These 18 cheap items could save your life, but they'll vanish when disaster strikes. Most people walk right past them. Hit that like button if you're ready to learn what smart preppers are stockpiling, and subscribe for more survival tips. I don't care how much money you've got in the bank. When the stores are empty, none of that matters. Because when everything crashes, the economy, the supply chain, the power grid, it's not going to be the big flashy stuff that saves you. It's going to be the little things, the stuff you forgot. The cheap items you thought you didn't need. Lighters, soap, trash bags. Sounds basic, right? But in a full-blown collapse, that $1 lighter could feed your family. That bar of soap could stop an infection. That trash bag could keep you alive. And the crazy part? You can still get all of this right now. Cheap, easy, no excuses. But most people won't. Most people will wait until it's too late. Don't be one of them. Number 1. Lighters. In a full-blown collapse, fire isn't optional. It's survival. You need it to cook, to boil water, to stay warm, to sterilize tools. And the easiest way to get it? Lighters. You can't count on just one. You'll lose it. It'll break. It'll run out. That's why smart people don't stop at 1 or 2. They buy dozens. Bics are the go-to. Cheap, reliable, consistent. They work when you need them to work. And you can stash them everywhere. Your bug-out bag, glove compartment, kitchen drawer, even your coat pocket. Zippos are cool, but they need fuel and maintenance. Bics just keep going. And in a crisis, you want simple. You want fast. You want sure. Think about bartering. After a grid failure, someone's going to want to heat up food. Someone's going to be freezing. You hand them a lighter and suddenly you've got leverage. That little piece of plastic becomes power. Trade it for food, tools, even meds. No batteries, no cords, no setup. Just click and fire. And unlike matches, you can use it again and again. Rain, wind, not a problem. You won't be able to walk into a store and grab these when things go south. They'll be gone, and people will be kicking themselves for not buying more when they could. So grab a few every time you're out. Build a stash, hide some, carry some, give some away when it matters. Because in a real emergency, something this small could make the difference between comfort and chaos. Number 2. Matches. When your lighter runs out or gets soaked, what do you fall back on? Matches. But not the kind from restaurants or party favors. You need storm-proof matches. These aren't your average fire starters. They burn in heavy wind, pouring rain, even after being dunked in water. They're thick, solid, and don't give up. When things get rough, that's the kind of tool you want in your pocket. Long stick matches are another must-have. Try lighting a fire deep inside a stove with short matches or a cheap lighter. You'll burn your fingers or worse. But with a longer stick, you get reach and control. And the best part? They don't expire. No batteries, no fuel, no moving parts. Just spark and flame. They sit quietly for years, ready when you are. You can throw a box in every bug-out bag, glove box, or drawer without worrying. Matches also shine in bartering. A small waterproof case during a blackout is a big deal. People will trade supplies just to get a flame. Fire is comfort. It's food. It's safety. And when they don't have it, you do. Keep them sealed. Keep them dry. Build your supply in layers. Storm-proof, long stick, waterproof containers. They're cheap now, easy to store. But when the panic hits, they'll vanish fast. A good fire can change your whole situation. Whether it's for boiling water, cooking, heat, or just a little light when everything goes dark, matches matter. Stock up while you still can. When things go sideways, you'll be glad you did. Number 3. Fuels. When the power goes out, everything stops. No lights, no heat, no stove. That's when fuel becomes your lifeline. You can't depend on gas stations in a collapse. Pumps don't work without power. Roads might be blocked. Deliveries will stop. So the fuel you have at home is all you've got. That means butane, propane, alcohol, firewood, as much of it as you can safely store. Each one has its use. Butane is perfect for small burners. Propane works great with camping stoves and indoor safe heaters. Alcohol fuels tiny portable stoves that are lightweight and reliable. And firewood? It's old school, but it works. Especially if you've got a fireplace or wood-burning stove. But fuel is useless without something to burn it in. That's why you need stoves, small backpack models, alcohol stoves, or butane cookers. Keep a few options. If one fails, you've got another. Think about what happens when you can't cook food or boil water. That's not an inconvenience. That's a threat. And in freezing temps, no heat can turn deadly fast. This stuff isn't always cheap, but it's vital. And prices only go up during emergencies, if you can even find it. Just like toilet paper vanished overnight, fuel disappears fast when people panic. Don't wait for shelves to clear. Don't bet your safety on the grid staying up. Stockpile now. Keep it dry, rotate your supply. Because when it's cold, dark, and silent, and you're still warm, fed, and calm, you'll realize why this should have been one of the first things you ever prepared. Number 4. Toilet paper. It sounds basic. It even sounds kind of funny. But when it's gone, it becomes a real problem fast. Toilet paper isn't just about comfort. It's about hygiene. And in a long-term emergency, that matters more than most people realize. Bad sanitation spreads disease. One roll might not seem like much now, but imagine going weeks or months without any. During the pandemic, we all saw what happened. Stores were stripped bare. People fought over it. That wasn't even a true collapse, just a glimpse. Now imagine something worse, an economic crash or grid failure. Deliveries stop. Factories shut down. You're stuck with whatever's in your closet, and don't count on wiping with leaves or using water buckets. That might work once, maybe twice. Then it becomes a mess, especially if you've got kids or you're stuck indoors. Toilet paper also isn't just for you. It becomes barter gold. When others run out, they'll pay a lot, money, food, supplies for a single roll. Something you bought for cheap now becomes a trade chip later. You don't need fancy stuff. Go basic. Buy in bulk. Store it dry, off the floor, and sealed up if you can. You'll use it anyway. It's not like it expires. Stack it, store it, hide it if you want. But whatever you do, don't overlook it. Because when society breaks down, even the smallest comforts become priceless. And toilet paper? That's one comfort you really don't want to be without. Number 5. Bleach. If you're not storing bleach, you're making a dangerous mistake. It's not just about cleaning. Bleach keeps you alive. 1 gallon of unscented bleach can purify thousands of gallons of water. That alone makes it a survival must-have. Clean drinking water is non-negotiable. Without it, everything else falls apart. Bleach also disinfects surfaces, tools, gear, even your hands in a pinch. Infections spread fast during disasters. Dirty tools, contaminated counters, unclean water, those become killers when hospitals are down or too far to reach. You don't need 50 gallons stacked in your garage, but a few well-sealed bottles, that's smart. Store them in a cool, dark place. Rotate every 6 to 12 months. It loses strength over time, but even old bleach is better than nothing. And when people panic buy, bleach is one of the first things that disappears. We saw it during COVID. Shelves cleared out overnight. If it happens again, maybe worse this time, you'll be ready while everyone else scrambles. It's also another barter weapon. A small container of bleach in a crisis that trades like gold. Water filters fail. Wells run dry. But bleach? It keeps you going. Just make sure it's regular, unscented, no additives, no splashless formulas, no fancy gels, just plain sodium hypochlorite. That's the one that works. If you've got food but no clean water, you don't survive. If you're filthy and can't sanitize, you get sick. Bleach is your cheap insurance policy. Stock it now or risk getting stuck without the one thing that could save your life. Number 6. Bars of soap. When the power's out and water's limited, staying clean gets hard. That's where bar soap comes in and why you should start hoarding it right now. You don't think about it much. Soap's just sitting there in the store, cheap and boring. But when you've gone a week without washing your hands or body, you'd trade a lot to get clean again. Bar soap stores forever. It doesn't leak. It doesn't need fancy packaging. It doesn't expire. You can stack dozens in a small space. And when stored properly, it'll outlast the body wash and liquid stuff any day. It also keeps your stockpile safe. Clean hands mean fewer germs. Fewer germs mean fewer infections. In survival, that's huge. A small cut can turn into a major problem if you're dirty. You can get the cheap brands or stock up on antibacterial bars. Both work. Just buy what you'll actually use. And as a bonus, bar soap becomes a strong bartering item. A few wrapped bars could get you food, tools, even fuel when people run out. You can even make your own if you're the DIY type. It's a skill that'll be valuable when things go bad. But whether you make it or buy it, the point is simple. Store more than you think you'll need. You'll use it. Others will want it. And unlike some supplies, it won't break the bank. Stock it deep. Keep it dry. Because when everyone's dirty and sick, you'll be the one who planned ahead and stayed healthy. Number 7. Trash bags. These aren't just for garbage. Trash bags are survival tools, and most people have no idea how useful they really are. First off, sanitation. When the toilets don't flush and the plumbing fails, you'll need a place to put waste. Without it, your home becomes a biohazard. Trash bags line buckets, hold used wipes, seal dirty clothes, keep sickness out. But that's just the start. Contractor-grade bags, those thick black ones, are tough. You can use them as emergency rain gear. Cut holes and make a poncho. Use them to line a makeshift toilet. Seal up broken windows. Wrap up gear to keep it dry. Even lay them down as ground cover in wet areas. They're also useful for blocking light. In a real grid-down event, you don't want your house glowing at night. Trash bags can block out windows fast. Keep your light in. Keep unwanted eyes out. You can stock up on different sizes. Kitchen bags for daily stuff, lawn bags for heavy lifting, big contractor bags for serious protection. They stack small, store anywhere, and you'll always use them during crisis or just everyday life. Want to talk bartering? Try handing someone a contractor bag after their roof's got a leak in the middle of a storm. When everyone's dealing with mess, trash bags become lifesavers. They're cheap, easy to find. Nobody's fighting over them yet. But when systems break down, The people who bought 100 will look like geniuses. So get ahead of the panic. Stockpile trash bags like your health depends on it, because someday it might. Number 8. Solar blankets. They're thin, they're shiny, they look like cheap party decorations. But when the temperature drops and you've got no heat, solar blankets keep you alive. Also called emergency blankets, these things are made from reflective material that traps your body heat. They fold into the size of your wallet, weigh next to nothing. But when you wrap one around you, you can stay warm in freezing weather. You might think, I've got jackets, but jackets get wet, blankets get heavy. Solar blankets? They don't care. Rain, snow, cold, these just work. They're not just for people either. You can use them to line the inside of a shelter, reflect heat back into a tent, even signal for help if needed. And since they're dirt cheap, there's no excuse not to stockpile them. Get a pack of 10 or 20 or 50. Keep them in your car, bug-out bag, toolbox, closet, everywhere. You won't notice them until it's cold and miserable and you need one bad. And don't forget bartering. In a crisis, warmth is everything. A solar blanket could be traded for food, water, or medical supplies. People underestimate them until it's freezing and they'd do anything for one. They're not perfect. They rip if you're rough with them. But at $1 to $2 each, you can afford backups. Lots of them. So stack them deep. Keep them sealed. Use them for warmth, shelter, insulation, or even camouflage in a pinch. Because when heat is gone and cold creeps in, that thin silver sheet might be the only thing between you and hypothermia. Number 9. Zip ties. Most people think of zip ties as a tool for cable management, but in a survival situation, they're silent heroes. Zip ties hold things in place when everything's falling apart. You need to fix gear, build a shelter, secure your bug-out bag, hang supplies, lock up a fence. Zip ties do it all, and fast. No knots, no tools, just loop, pull, done. You don't need to be handy. You don't need a knife. You just need to know where to find one when things go sideways. Because when time matters, zip ties are better than string or tape. They don't stretch, they don't come loose, and they won't leave you guessing whether it's secure. Stock different sizes, small ones for light tasks, thick, long ones for heavy-duty jobs. Keep a pack in your car, your toolbox, your kitchen drawer, your bug-out bag. You won't regret it. And here's the kicker. They weigh next to nothing. You can carry hundreds without adding bulk. That's rare for any tool. In a crisis, speed matters. So does simplicity. When things break, and they will, zip ties let you act fast without fumbling. Need to tie off a leaky bag, hang a tarp, seal a door, bundle firewood, build a trap? Zip ties make it happen. They're cheap. You can buy 100 for the price of a burger. And yet, when you're in the middle of a breakdown and need a quick fix, they'll feel priceless. Don't wait for an emergency to wish you had more. Load up now. Store them everywhere. They'll earn their place 100 times over. Number 10. Tape. In survival mode, the things that hold your world together, literally, are tape. Duct tape is king. You can patch holes, seal cracks, repair gear, fix shoes, cover wounds, or even build a shelter. It's one of those things you reach for instinctively when something breaks. Why? Because it works. But don't stop at just one kind. Electrical tape insulates wires and handles wet or cold conditions. You don't want to risk a shock or short when dealing with battery-powered gear. Painter's tape is perfect when you need to black out windows without ruining walls. Clear tape helps seal food containers or broken glass when you're in a pinch. Tape is the one item where overkill doesn't exist. It takes up little space, lasts forever, and you'll always find new uses when stuff starts falling apart. And think about this. When the grid fails, when stores are ransacked, when your backpack strap rips mid-escape, you're not sewing it. You're taping it. This is another big one for barter. You hand someone a roll of duct tape when their tent's collapsing or their water container's leaking. That's real value. That's trust. Keep rolls in the car, in the shed, in your bug-out bag. Build a box of backups. Mix brands, mix types, and make sure you've got extras, because one roll goes fast when you're sealing windows in a storm or patching up damaged gear. No matter how careful you are, things will break. Tape lets you keep going. And when it comes down to survival, momentum is everything. Number 11. Cordage. Every serious prepper knows you can't have too much cord. Paracord, jute twine, bank line, even heavy-duty rope, they all play a part. Whether you're building shelter, tying off gear, hanging tarps, securing loads, making traps, or dragging supplies, cordage does the job. Paracord is the fan favorite. It's strong, it's compact. You can carry feet of it in your pocket, or wrap it around a knife handle. It holds hundreds of pounds and comes in all colors for visibility or stealth. Bank line is thinner, tar-like, and great for tying tight knots that won't slip. Jute twine is biodegradable and flammable, making it a solid fire starter. Regular rope works for hauling or hanging food away from predators. You don't need to know fancy knots, just enough to make it work. The point is, when something needs to be tied, held, or pulled, cordage gives you options. In a disaster, creativity wins. Cordage helps you improvise. You need to tie down a tarp in high winds? Paracord. Build a pulley to lift something heavy? Rope. Set up a perimeter alarm? Twine. And like everything else on this list, it's a barter item. A neighbor with no rope can't hang anything. You've got extra? That's leverage. Keep rolls or coils in every pack. Wrap some around flashlights, knives, or water bottles. It doesn't go bad. It barely takes up space. And it's one of the most versatile tools you'll ever use. If you're preparing for collapse, you're preparing to fix and build. Cordage is what makes that possible. Don't get caught without it. Number 12. Glue. When the duct tape fails, and yes, sometimes it will, you need glue. Glue gives you a permanent bond. It lets you fix things that tape can't hold. And in a long-term emergency, that's a big deal. No stores, no replacements. What breaks, you fix, or you lose it. There are different kinds for different jobs. Super glue is perfect for small, fast fixes. Broken tools, cracked gear, even sealing a small cut if you have no other option. Wood glue helps with repairs around the home or cabin. E6000 is heavy-duty, flexible, and can hold almost anything together. Glue lets you get creative, patch leaks, reinforce gear, build makeshift tools. It's not glamorous, but it's powerful. And when you pair glue with cordage or duct tape, now you're talking serious repairs. A torn backpack strap, a cracked water container, a damaged shoe. Instead of tossing it, you patch it and move on. This kind of resourcefulness matters. You won't be able to just order a new one during collapse. You'll need to repair, reuse, and adapt. Glue makes that happen. Even the small tubes go a long way. Store them sealed in cool, dry places. Build a small box with different types. You'll use them all eventually. And yes, people will barter for it. When tools start falling apart and packs rip open, glue becomes trade-worthy. Someone else's broken gear becomes your opportunity. So think ahead. You'll never regret having too much glue, only not having enough when things fall apart. Because in survival, fixing what breaks means everything, and glue makes sure you can. Number 13. Flashlights. When the lights go out, and they will, flashlights become survival gear, not a convenience, a necessity. Think about it. No street lights, no house lights, just pitch black. That's when panic kicks in. And the second you can't see what's around you, you're vulnerable. But not if you've got light on demand. You don't need the $100 tactical flashlight with the strobe mode and 5 brightness settings. Sure, it's nice to have, but what matters is having plenty. The cheap $2 or $5 ones work just fine for backup. Scatter them everywhere. Your nightstand, junk drawer, bug-out bag, glove box, toolbox, anywhere you might need light. Stockpile them over time. Buy one here, one there. They add up fast. And when the power's out, you'll thank yourself for having 10 instead of 1. Battery-powered flashlights are great, but remember to stock batteries too. Or grab a few rechargeable ones with built-in solar. Even the crank-powered lights are worth tossing in a bag. And don't forget, flashlights are valuable for bartering. Someone stuck in the dark will trade good supplies for light. A $3 flashlight could buy you food or fuel in the right situation. Darkness creates fear. Light brings control. With a flashlight, you can check on your gear, defend your home, move safely, or signal for help. Without it, you're fumbling blind. But stop thinking of it as an optional gadget. Start seeing it as the lifeline it is. Because when the grid goes down and everything's black, the only question is, did you plan for it, or are you just hoping someone else did? Number 14. Instant coffee. Instant coffee won't save your life. But in a crisis, it might just save your mind when everything's falling apart. That warm cup in the morning? It hits different. It reminds you of normal. It gives you a boost, a reason to breathe, think, reset, and keep going. You don't need the gourmet stuff. Those little single-serve packets are gold in a crisis. Easy to carry, easy to store, long shelf life. Pop one in your bug-out bag, glove box, pantry, toolbox. You won't regret it. Sure, it doesn't taste like a cafe brew, but you're not going for flavor. You're going for fuel, mental and physical. Caffeine gives you focus when sleep is short, energy when food is light, morale when spirits are low. And this is one of those supplies that almost no one thinks to stock, which makes it valuable. Want a great barter item? A box of instant coffee packets trades fast when people are tired, cold, and desperate for a taste of normal. If you've got the space, add a percolator or French press and store real coffee too. But don't skip the instant stuff. It doesn't need gear, just hot water and a few seconds. Coffee may seem like a luxury now, but after the collapse, it's a ritual. It's a mental reset. It's comfort in a cup. Start tossing packets into every bag and storage bin you've got. You'll use them, or someone else will, at a price that favors you. Because even in collapse, small comforts matter. And a warm cup of coffee might be exactly what keeps you moving forward. Number 15. Band-aids and bandages. In a real crisis, medical help might not show up. No ambulance, no ER, no pharmacy down the street. It's just you, your supplies, and whatever happens next. That's why band-aids and bandages matter way more than people realize. A small cut on your finger. Today, you rinse it and slap on a band-aid. No big deal. But during a collapse, that same cut can get infected fast. You're not bathing regularly. Water's not clean. Your hands are touching gear, trash, food, dirt, every germ you don't want inside your body. Now imagine not having a simple bandage to cover it. Start small. You don't need a hospital's worth of supplies, but you do need boxes of assorted Band-Aids, rolls of gauze, medical tape, antiseptic wipes. Build it up little by little. Toss in some tweezers, antibiotic cream, gloves. Every piece adds up. And these supplies aren't just for you. When someone in your family gets hurt, you'll need to act fast. The right bandage at the right time might stop something minor from turning deadly. Plus, these are high-value barter items. First aid gear runs out quick when people start panicking. You having extras? That's leverage. That's safety. Keep some in your car, go bag, toolbox. You'll probably use them even before collapse hits. That's the beauty of this prep. You get value now and insurance later. In disaster, the smallest injuries can turn serious. But with just a little planning, you can stay ahead of it. Stock up. Store smart. Because one box of Band-Aids can save a lot more than skin. Number 16. Batteries. Without batteries, most of your gear is just dead weight. Flashlights, radios, thermometers, tools, even basic survival electronics are useless without power. And during a crisis, you're not finding batteries at the store. They vanish first, always. So stock them now. Start with what you use. AA, DNV, whatever powers your flashlights, headlamps, radios. Make a list. Buy extras every time you go out. You don't need to hoard overnight, but you do need to build up a serious stash. And don't just grab the cheap, no-name stuff. They don't last. Go with Energizer, Duracell, or trusted generics that perform well. If you're prepping long-term, consider rechargeables and grab a solar charger to go with them. One setup could power key tools for years. Batteries are heavy, sure, but they're currency in collapse. That neighbor with a flashlight but no batteries? He'll trade. That guy with a radio but no way to power it? He'll pay. Keep them cool, dry, organized. Rotate your stock. Use the oldest first. Don't open the packaging until you need them. Sealed batteries last longer. And think beyond flashlights. What powers your thermometer, your walkie-talkies, your emergency weather radio? You can have all the tools, but if you don't have the juice, they're just expensive paperweights. Every prepper knows energy is life. Batteries store that energy in your pocket. So don't wait for the blackout. Don't wait for shelves to empty. Build your battery bank now and make sure when the lights go out, you're still in control. Number 17. Hand sanitizer. You saw what happened during the pandemic? Shelves wiped clean. People hoarding hand sanitizer like it was gold. And for good reason. In a crisis, it kind of is. No running water means no clean hands. And dirty hands spread sickness fast. That's how one person gets sick. Then the whole household goes down. You can't afford that when hospitals are closed and medicines limited. Hand sanitizer is small, cheap, and powerful. It kills germs instantly. No sink needed, no soap. Just squeeze, rub, done. That makes it a first-line defense in any emergency where water is limited or contaminated. Stockpile the little bottles. Toss them in every bag. Bug-out bag, glove box, coat pocket. You'll use them now and later, and they make excellent bartering tools. People will trade food, supplies, and even fuel for a bottle of hand sanitizer when they can't find any. Go for the 60% alcohol or higher. That's what works. Don't waste money on scented stuff or gelled water with zero effectiveness. You want the kind that stings a little and smells like it means business. If you've got kids, you already know how quickly germs spread. Now imagine dealing with that in a grid-down world. No pharmacy, no antibiotics, just you and your supplies. Sanitation isn't a luxury, it's survival. Clean hands mean fewer infections, and fewer infections mean more strength, more focus, and more control. So don't wait for the next panic. Start building your stash of sanitizer now. Because when clean water disappears, that little bottle in your pocket might be the only thing keeping your family from getting sick. Number 18. Wet wipes. When the water stops flowing, showers are out. But your body doesn't stop sweating. Your hands still get dirty. You still go to the bathroom. And that's where wet wipes become a lifesaver. They're more than just for babies. In a crisis, they keep you clean when nothing else will. Wipe your hands, wipe your face, wipe your armpits, clean your tools, your gear, your toilet setup. It's not perfect, but it's way better than nothing. Wet wipes stop grime from turning into infection. They help you feel human when everything else feels broken. And trust me, morale matters. A clean face after a hot day of stress and survival, that's a reset button. Stock up on the big packs. Store them in sealed containers to keep them from drying out. If you want to go next level, get the heavy-duty camping wipes. They're bigger, stronger, and built for adults in rough situations. Add small travel packs to your go bags and car kits. You'll use them even before disaster hits. And again, think bartering. People who didn't prep are going to smell, be dirty, be miserable. You pull out a pack of wet wipes? Suddenly, you've got trade leverage. But remember, they're not a long-term substitute for water. You can't wipe your way through a month of collapse. Still, for a few days, a week, they're clutch. Clean skin, clear head, less sickness. That's what wipes give you when the water shuts off. So stock them deep now, while they're cheap, easy to find, and still sitting on shelves. Most people won't prepare, not because they can't, but because they don't think it'll happen to them. They see the empty shelves, the rising prices, the news stories, but they still believe things will bounce back, that someone will fix it, that things will go back to normal. That mindset? It's dangerous, because collapse doesn't send warnings. It doesn't show up slowly. One day, everything's fine. The next day, the power's out. The store's closed, and there's nothing left. Stockpiling isn't about fear. It's about control. It's about saying, if nobody else steps in, I've got this. You don't need to be rich. You don't need a bunker. You just need to start small and be consistent. One lighter, one pack of wipes, one case of batteries. Do that every time you shop. And in a few months, you've got real security. That's how real prepping works. Quiet, steady, intentional. Because when things break, it's not the strongest or smartest who survive. It's the most prepared. You shift your mindset now, or you suffer later. That's the deal. And deep down, you already know it. You've seen how fragile everything is. You've felt that knot in your stomach when the store didn't have what you needed. This isn't paranoia. It's planning. You don't wait for the fire to buy a hose. You don't wait for the crash to fasten your seatbelt. And you shouldn't wait for collapse to start building your stockpile. Start now while you still can.